It is another edition of Litter Media Live, the daily edition for this August 5th of 2025 with the icon, Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And to our immediate left is Mr. Glandon. The countdown continues. Sunday is the big day where he gains a Mrs. Glandon. And I'm not talking about his mom.
I don't think of my mom as Mrs. Glandon. I think of Susan Glandon as Mrs. Glandon because she was the guidance counselor at my school. And so we called her Mrs.
So
Glandon.
you had a reference other than mom.
Yes.
Yeah, got that. Very cool.
Both of you scoot that way a little bit. Just a smidge.
Who, me or Mike?
Both of you.
Both of us move
Hang on.
that away. Okay. Is that better?
That's much better.
That's easier than him getting up and
So if there's
moving
anything in the
camera.
middle of the screen, Dan, you're going to have to read it because I can't see it now.
Those things do happen, yes. Adjustments made on the
We
fly,
need a teleprompter.
as it were.
We need a teleprompter.
We needed a producer. We got a producer. Now we need a teleprompter.
Yeah.
We have programs so we could do that.
In front of the camera. I've been seeing those on TV.
Yeah. They cost money, Mike.
What's that?
Something that's in your bank account. All right, coming up in a moment to get you caught up today with what's happening with news, sports, and also this date in history takes a dive. Details coming up. But first, our forecast.
Some cloudy skies mixed with sun. We have a decent chance of a shower popping up this afternoon, maybe even a thunderstorm. Temperatures will remain in the low to mid 80s. We're expecting sunshine for Wednesday and Thursday. Again, highs in the low to mid 80s. But I think if you look at the weather there, a little cloudiness mixed in. Now, yesterday there was no rain in the forecast, but on my way home, it really started to cloud up. And I thought, that looks like it's going to rain. And it just kind of spit a little bit on me every once in a while while I was mowing the yard yesterday. So it's summer in Ohio, even though if it's not in the forecast, sometimes you get these pop-up showers in the afternoon.
That spitting might have been from one of your neighbors.
Well, they had a good spitter because there was nobody in sight. Yeah.
Somebody on the roof with a little
Unless
water
a
hose.
bird flying over was doing something to me. That could be
as well.
too.
That could be. Anything can happen. All right, coming up, we'll take a look at news. But first, we want to tell you about our friends at Hometown Motors. Their Skag clearance sale continues. Prices so low, you probably think they've lost their thinking. What are you thinking? These are low prices. Yeah. Choose from a wide selection of Skag mowing equipment, but you'll better hurry in because once they're gone, they're gone. The prices go with the inventory. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Give them a call at 740-773-8826, or as you can see there, stop by 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe or visit them online, hometown-motors.com, your store for the great outdoors.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
And if you want to follow along with some of what we're sharing for you today, you can go to our website, littermedia.com. All of our social media contact information is in the upper right-hand corner. As you see there, the fair is underway. And let's start with the news here today.
Yeah, a schedule of events that are taking place today. And then once I'm done with this, Aaron, be prepared. I'm handing it off to you about last night or yesterday afternoon. Tuesday, which is today, the Ross County Fair features the Swine County Bred Born and Raised Show. That's 2:30 this afternoon. Southeastern's Marching Band at the bandstand. I think it's like at a little afternoon, maybe again 2 and 5 o'clock. The Class E horseshoes. Now, there's horseshoe competition almost every day this week, but they have different classes each day. It's Class E today at 6 o'clock. And then, of course, Junior Fair Night, which is probably along with the King and Queen contest, that's one of the bigger events that's not actually
a tractor pull or something.
Tractor pull or demo derby or anything like that, although they are on the track for the outhouse races. But Aaron, you were meandering out there yesterday. What did you find?
Yeah, I talked to some of the Junior Fair members, including the King, Cameron Nemovsky, about what people can expect at Junior Fair Night, including the calf scramble.
So it's a way for some of our younger members, like some of the youth exhibitors, to gain cattle without having to go out and buy themselves. So they market calves, and they'll go get them at this Junior Fair Night and then bring them back next year to sell them as market calves. It's a great way. They get them for free. They don't have to pay for the calves or anything, and they can sell them here next year and make money. It's an easy way, especially seeing how expensive calves are these days.
They're basically in a giant pen, and they have to bring the cow to the center of the pen, and once they have it in the center, that is their cow that they will take for the project for the next coming year.
The calf scramble is by far my favorite part of the Ross County Fair, so I highly encourage everybody to check that out and check out this interview, which you can find on our YouTube site.
Do you plan to stay through the calf scramble tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
I would not miss the calf scramble.
Are you going to put a helmet on and get out there and
I wouldn't do that either.
get that kind of footage?
No.
As the calf is running to you?
Yeah, let's put a YouTube on his, or not a YouTube, but a GoPro on top of his helmet. Go out.
I will pass on that.
You'll pass on that.
Yeah.
And it's not because he doesn't want to do it. It's just he doesn't want the responsibility of raising that calf to sell it.
I don't want a black eye on Sunday.
Oh, that too. That's right. You got this marriage thing you're going to do. All right. So, again, get out to the fair. We're going to try and be out there with the cameras. I know Aaron's going to be there. I'm going to possibly try and get out there later on this afternoon too. So if you see us, wave at the cameras for us, would you? Touch of sad news for you. Up in Circleville, former Circleville Mayor Michael E. Logan passed away on Sunday at the age of 70, passing away from cancer. Serving as the mayor of Circleville from 1988 to 1991, Logan saw the reopening and expansion of the city pool, rebuilt and opened the South Court Street Fire Station, completely remodeled the interior of City Hall, built the Pickaway Street Bridge and the city garage on Clinton and Ohio Street. Calling hours will be held at Woolman Funeral this Friday, 2 until 7 p.m. at the funeral home there in Circleville. Funeral services will be held Saturday at St. Joseph's Catholic Church, 10 a.m., with a celebration of life to follow at the SO residence.
So residence.
Okay. At the SO residence, 8292 State Route 188 in Circleville.
Fluor-BWXT down in Pike County. They'll be conducting emergency drill training tomorrow, that's August 6th, at the former Portsmouth Gaseous Diffusion Plant. Now, those living near the site may notice an increased presence of emergency vehicles or even be able to see the drill scenario if they are driving along Perimeter Road. But just remember, that is only a drill.
Yeah, we don't want people to panic.
No.
Because we'll get calls. Somebody's going to miss what we just said. Markings of history. This is part 2 of our look at the Fayette County Courthouse, which details the story of a race riot that resulted in the Ohio National Guard being called in. I have to look at this. I don't remember that.
You wouldn't. 1894. It was a little before your time, Dan. But if you've ever been over to Washington Courthouse, in and around the courthouse, of course, the piece that we had last week was the inside of the beautiful murals that are painted there. But on the outside, if you look at the big wooden doors in the front, there are bullet holes that are still there from this riot that took place back in 1894.
In other news.
Yes. The Southeastern Ohio Corn Growers and OSU Agricultural Extension Office will be hosting their Agronomy Field Day on August the 12th at the Fayette County Airport. That's on State Route 38, just northwest of Washington Courthouse. Should be a great day of a variety of educational sessions in Fayette County. You can get CCA credits that'll be offered for those that need the CEUs, and you farm folks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It'll be held between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Again, that's coming up August the 12th. They still have time. I thought we had an image of that. It had a barcode on it, or not a barcode, but a QR code with the registration.
I got no image for that one.
Well, if you go to our website, our Facebook, we shared it. It's on there. If you don't want to do the QR code, there's a phone number there for not only Fayette County Agricultural Extension, but also the Clinton County Agricultural Extension. A lot of the farm community from Clinton County come over to Washington Courthouse for this annual event as well.
A recent service of the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation Correctional Reception Center over in Orient led to the baptisms of 80 incarcerated adults. Rock City Church partnered with the reception center for this baptism service, along with DRC's chaplains and religious volunteers who support the spiritual needs of their incarcerated population. Your selflessness makes hope possible for so many, and this is really cool because these guys go in without a chance, and then something happens, and they start listening to the gospel, hearing the good news.
I saw where our good sponsor, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, even shared this. Unfortunately, we've heard some negative things that's happened out at RCI here of late, and we don't want you to think that that's not the only thing that's going on. There are some good things, just like what we showed right there, that also are taking place inside prison walls. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife has $9 million of funding available to landowners who want to create grassland habitat that can support native wildlife like the northern bobwhite quail, or such as what you see here, a pheasant, which is a grassland nesting bird. Several types of grant awards are available for interested landowners. Eligible lands include cropland and non-cropland, and grants will be awarded on a per-acre basis or based on the number of projects. You can contract agreements that range from 1 to 4 years. If you'd like to get more information, you can call the Division of Wildlife, or a lot of times your county extension office, and even the Soil Water Conservation District office, I also think have some insight on how to participate in this.
I can't remember the last time I saw a pheasant. Might have been maybe my junior high days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I just don't, you never see them down where I live.
Yeah.
But when I was in Pickaway County, I would see them every once in a while. But,
where our daughter lives out in the country, there's a field out there that, well, now that it's being used for crops again, but for a while it was this.
Really?
My uncle, or Laura's uncle, was using that field for this purpose, and there were pheasants coming out of there all the time. Yeah. So
I see wild turkeys more than anything. And this was last week or the week before. I was driving home from work, and I saw not just one, but two mommies with all of their little turkeys coming behind them. And there was like 16 to 20 of them. It was incredible.
I remember when we used to take U.S. Route 50 to Athens to do ball games, Tom and I would see on this hillside there, just outside of MacArthur, they were everywhere. And Tom would almost want me to slam on the brakes. Look at all those turkeys over there. But
speaking of the late Tom Beard,
he did that with deer a lot too.
Yeah.
And if you're not expecting it, you slam on the brakes thinking, well, look at that. You know, don't do that. Our road report, resurfacing and related work on State Route 159 in Fairfield County between US 22 and the Pickaway County line. It includes preventative maintenance on bridges within the project limits. Two-way traffic will be maintained with a flagging operation for resurfacing. So keep that in mind if you're traveling over on 159 to Fairfield County.
Coming up next, a look at sports. But first, we want to tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. Had them come in, replace our air conditioning unit, the whole HVAC deal, and it's working fantastic. So tip of the top of the cap to them here today. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If you've got issues in your home or your business, they can handle that too. Give them a call by clicking on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It'll take you right to their website, AccurateHVAC.com. There is a list of numbers for all the territories that they handle here in Southern Ohio at Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Time for sports, and we begin with a look at our high school roundup and the Haynes Total Health Care Center scoreboard.
Yes, sir. It's golf pretty much every day that the high school activities are seeing right now. We, of course, started with a lot of girls golf last week. Yesterday, the Vinton County Invitational was held at Franklin Valley. Waterford must really be strong. They've won like 3 boys tournaments, invitationals already this fall. Well, it's not really fall yet, summer. They had a 324, Fairfield Union a 331, Circleville was third at 333, but then you can see the rest of the roundup there of the 12 teams that participated. There was a tri-match also. Portsmouth Clay with a 192 beat Western and Northwest. Evan Ryder of Clay was the medalist. We did not get his score, his individual score, but he was the medalist in that event yesterday. Now today, there is a 17-team invitational at JC's Golf Course. It's the Adena Invitational, and that's probably underway already out at the JC Golf Course. We'll probably have some results on that on our Haynes Total Health Care high school scoreboard later tonight.
Baseball for you. The Cincinnati Reds in Chicago picked up a win, 3-2, held on for that victory. And so now the Reds gained a little ground on the Cubbies, and they also find themselves continuing in that hunt for the wild card as well. I'm not sure if they'll catch either the Cubs or the Brewers, but if they can stay in the hunt for that wild card, they've got a shot at making the postseason. They'll go back at it again later this evening. For the Guardians, they pulled off a 7-6 win in New York over the Mets. So both of our little market teams in the biggest markets of, well, the top 3 biggest markets in the country, and pick them away 1-run wins. So congratulations. They will go back at it again tonight also. I want to double check, make sure. That I got a feeling no, it is an 8:05 start for the Reds tonight and the Cubs.
Out in Wrigley. Remember, they're an hour behind us, so that's 7 whatever their time. So.
Yeah, and it's an afternoon game. It says tomorrow. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so are they playing 4 games out there?
You know, I'd have to check my schedule.
No. They've got Thursday. They open up a 4-game set
at Pittsburgh.
Yes. All right. Okay, coming up in a moment, this date in history, we hearken back to the 1950s.
And a little wet action going on that day. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Time now for this date in history.
1951. Canadian daredevil Red Hill Jr., only 38 years of age, attempts to go over Niagara Fall in a barrel made of 13 rubber inner tubes, canvas webbing, and fish netting that he calls the Thing. Unfortunately, his body was recovered the next morning. Mm-hmm. In other words, he didn't make it.
But he had gone over the falls before.
Yeah. I don't know what was, maybe his design wasn't as good as what he had before.
Yeah, it was some kind of a tank. I saw an image on when I did. I wanted to. Mike didn't have a lot of information on this, so I thought there's got to be more to the story. So I started looking at it, and there was a picture of him in 1945, sitting in like this. I don't know if it was a gas tank or whatever it was, and that was one thing he was going to attempt to go over the falls in.
Maybe going for comfort isn't always the best way.
Right.
Now, do you remember the name of the Chillicothe lady that went over in the barrel with her boyfriend?
I don't remember her first name.
But she was a sister to a fellow that we knew at the phone company, and I can't even think. His name was Gary
Burmeister.
Mm-hmm. And but she also jumped off a suspension bridge out in California.
Wow.
At one time with, I don't know whether it had a parachute on it or what. She lived.
There are daredevils everywhere.
They say that adrenaline rush is such a great thing to do this. Or the people that will tie their feet and then dive off the bridge with a bungee. No way. My luck, the bungee cord breaks.
One of the craziest things I think I've ever done was with Paradise. This was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We went to Cedar Point, and they had this thing called, it was in Frontierland. It was some kind of swing. And so we were hoisted up into the air, and we're lying on our bellies, and the platform falls from out underneath of us, and then they say, pull the ripcord. And you pull the ripcord, and you're like this, but suddenly when you pull that ripcord, you go like this. It is a nosedive.
Wow.
And then it would swing out, and it was so cool, just swinging back and forth. And it was the best part of the day as far as thrill was concerned, because you weren't being beat around and all that kind of stuff, but you were just floating through the air on a hot day, and it was so enjoyable. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't do it, huh?
Not that. I mean, I've been on roller coasters. Space Mountain. I mean, you're going around loops and all that kind of stuff. So
I don't think I could do
in the dark at Space Mountain.
Yes, I don't think I could. And Outer Limits was like that down at Kings Island too. I don't think I could do that with my back issues today. I wanted so much at Daytona Beach. They had this thing, I can't remember what they call it now, but it had 2 high towers like this, and then it just, I think it was slingshot is what they called it. And you sat in this cage, and it would just boom, and you would go flying way up in the air and back down, and it would, eventually do this and let you down. I've seen videos of people doing that. It's hilarious watching their reactions, but I can only imagine what my chiropractor would say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think mine would be too, because the Beast, when we used to ride that wooden roller, I mean, that thing just beat you to death. I don't think I could deal with that anymore.
Mean Streak was the one that always got me up at Cedar Point. I mean, I would have bruises on my back.
Yeah, that one is the worst.
Yeah. Of course, they've replaced it with Steel Vengeance.
Which I've heard is really good.
Which is really good. Yeah, I've not been able to ride it here the last couple of years, but one of these days.
I've never ridden that one. I've been there once since it was open, but it was under maintenance or something that day.
The ones that make me most excited about riding, the ones that make you almost pass out. We were at Seven Flags over Texas. This is when Danny was getting out of the Air Force or out of boot camp, and so the boys wanted to go to Seven Flags or Six Flags. What did I say? 7? Six Flags.
I was about to say, is that
it was a completely different amusement park. But back then they had some of the DC characters, and they had one of the rides was a roller coaster called Superman. And this thing would just fly, and it's a wooden roller coaster, and it was do all this kind of stuff. And then suddenly it would come to a point where you kind of had this little rest spot, and then it would go through and do its thing again. Well, when it came to that rest spot, there was Superman standing like this, and the American flag next to him. It was a really cool sight. Only I was seeing all these spots in front of my eyes, and then it took off again. It was one of the coolest rides I ever experienced. And I lived to talk about it. Yes. Unfortunately, Red Hill Jr. did not live to talk about his experience.
He did not.
Of the thing.
Yeah.
The thing got him.
Yeah. Something that's always been against the law to do, but people do it anyway.
He had 13 inner tubes on this thing. Maybe he should have added one, so it wouldn't have been unlucky 13.
Yeah, I never thought of that. I never even thought of that. Yeah, 13, bad number. And wonder if it was a Friday on that particular year.
That would have been something, huh? Yeah. All right. That's it for today's program. Thank you so much. We will share with you from the Ross County Fair tomorrow on this program, and we might have something special for you tomorrow as well at that point in time.
I won't be here?
Fingers are crossed, but we'll see.
You were hoping anyway.
That would be special, but it's not that special.
It happens too often to be special.
Right. Okay, that's it for today's program. Back at it again tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.